The passages we're introducing American Transcendentalism today, and one of the major tenets of American Transcendentalism, which really drew me into Transcendentalism, was the connection with nature. So what we're asking you to do is read the following quote, which I'll read in a moment, and based on your experience of nature, and this comes from Emerson's book, Nature. The stars awaken a certain reverence, because though always present, they are inaccessible. But all natural objects make a kindred impression when the mind is open to their influence. Nature never wears a mean appearance. Neither does the wisest man extort her secret and lose his curiosity by finding out all her perfection. Nature never became a toy to a wise spirit. The flowers, the animals, the mountains reflected the wisdom of his best hour, as much as they had delighted the simplicity of his childhood.
Over the top and over the spot. In your soul, it's open a thought. Eroded in shock. The prophecy, corrosions of plot. Explosions of block. Time until erosion is caught. Emotion is caught. Into mountains and oceans will rock. Disposed and clocked. The lotions end up frozen in rock. The emotions and the shows to be exposed and tell how poetry are holding up to make you freeze to death from sending close to me. Openly admit that there is little left supposed to be. The roads are like it's evident. The move I'm supposed to be. Sabemos que la vida es médica, incluso más que la guerra. También estando técnica, pero tienes la pena como una fina negra. El gran de la cena de tus curas, sus historias, su pena de la venas. También me abrir los ojos, levantando las cejas. Todo me engaña, todo escrito predico. Lo que me dijo, lo tiene en la mano, es todo benéfico. Rap dirigido a los oídos de los niños. Es como que más o menos es que excites just me need love. Los empininos son edificios de librillos. Walking all the colors, black, white, Asian, or Latino. You stare with that, but fail to realize inside each paragraph. A hold of essential to take your body and just tear in half. Every vital organ till Satan is what you're tearing at. The light is a bazooka, so there's no hope in comparing yet. Sure.
I've done a lot of skiing in Utah, and the natural beauty around, skiing in the mountains out there always gives me a strong feeling of freedom, and as well as a feeling of vulnerability.
Things change quickly. Things change quickly both in space and time. You can go from trees that are farther across than from me to you, and in 2 hours be up above the tree line, maybe not quite 2 hours, but in 4 or 5 hours. So that's a lot of change quickly in space.
Right there. I think that's the coolest thing. So I think beauty is defying death.
So the challenge that it presents. Yeah, and that's come up in the hiking, the skiing, surfing definitely.
Yeah.
It definitely provides, a challenge or death-defying experience, as you said.
Yeah, and overcoming it.
I think also besides the challenge it provides on that same theme, it's you can actually use nature in all the different ways, whether it's hiking and surfing, and I had one which is when I was, had to do some rock climbing and rappelling at Joshua Tree, right? And you know, where it could change who you are, you can like overcome it. You could like use nature almost as a way to kind of build your own character, right? Like I can do this, kind of what you were saying, you feel so great afterwards, or you've accomplished, or you've achieved.
Yeah, let me give a little background on the Harvard Divinity School address. In 1838, Emerson was invited to give the Divinity School address at Harvard Divinity School at graduation. And basically, he takes this as an opportunity to put forth his sort of doctrine, so to speak, although he's, you know, American Transcendentalism is quite doctrineless. His ideas, which were a very strong critique of Christianity at the time in New England. His first criticism was that, first, what he described as the problem with Christianity is that it describes Jesus as God. And he said that that ends a revelation 2,000 years ago, or 1,800 years ago. His second criticism was this idea of revelation. He said that revelation is ongoing and continuous, and it's something that we can experience through nature. And he uses an imagery in this speech of sitting in a church, listening to this preacher talk, and he looks out the window and he starts listening, or starts watching the snowfall. And he basically compares and contrasts the two and says, you know, here's this guy up in a pulpit talking a whole bunch of words, but I can look at nature and learn so much. I can look at these snowflakes, the intricacy, the complexity of the snowflakes, and learn so much about the divine through nature, and don't need necessarily this go between being a preacher or minister or whatnot. So obviously he was never invited back to give a graduation speech at Harvard again, and made a lot of people really upset, but really sort of laid out the main ideas of the American Transcendentalist movement. Which leads us, very appropriately, into the main elements of Transcendentalism.
Yeah, so one, not surprisingly, is nature. Sort of seeing the value of nature and trying really to incorporate that into life, into our understanding of the world, into the way that we have revelations, and really looking to it for all of the reasons that we came up with, right? So nature, so we've covered that one. The second one I want to put up is free thought. Not surprisingly, a guy that got up in front of Harvard Divinity School saying that I don't need someone to tell me about the divine, I'm going to go find it on myself, would champion something like free thought, right? So really thinking for yourself, and incorporating experiences and incorporating books and incorporating old writers and thinkers, but being able to process that genuinely. Self-reliance is another one.
And I want to quickly butt in and say that Emerson wrote one of his most famous essays is called Self-Reliance. And he did do it up in his attic while his wife was cooking and doing the laundry and cleaning the house. So, you know, we Yeah, there's a little bit of irony caught up in that.
But, and then non-conformity would be the last one. Again, not surprisingly, sort of free thought and self-reliance would potentially come into to non-conformity.
Not accepting the standard beliefs and norms.
Not accepting the standard beliefs or norms. So these are the four things that a transcendentalist would have really thought needed to be embodied or needed to be embraced in order to fully be yourself or understand the world or interact with life.
What we're gonna ask you to do is for the next 10 minutes or so, and we'll occasionally do this with our classes, when it's appropriate with the lessons we're teaching. Just step out, find a quiet space, go on just a little stroll, but just in the immediate surrounding area, what lessons or what wisdom can we learn from nature? We've talked about sort of the ideal place, the place that has really been an awesome experience for us. What about when we just look around the world immediately surrounding us?
What lessons can we learn on
A New England fall day.
a New England fall day? Yes.
Transients.
Ooh,
Transients, yes.
With all this beautiful leaves are gonna fall off, like somebody already mentioned.
And they weren't beautiful some time ago.
That's right.
And that
They're
goes
about
back
to
to
be
the ever
completely
changing,
gone.
the ever changing quality.
So I think it goes back to, again, maybe this transference to other parts of your life, but I think as I was out there and I was like, oh, it's a little cold and rainy, and like last weekend we were here, it was absolutely gorgeous and sunny, and I thought, wow, nature really has the ability, and again, maybe I'm thinking nature overall, but also weather combined, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, but it really does. We're not above that.
Absolutely,
That influence.
absolutely. Yes,
Tranquility.
tranquility. And where did you get that feeling? What were you looking at or experiencing?
Just being outside in the nature and being part of it. And feeling very tranquil.
Yeah. Balance, equanimity.
There's also sort of a sense of eternal, because even though you have transients, you know it will come around again.
A timeless
It's
quality.
because I wish to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discovered that I had not lived.
Yeah. Quintessential. Corner. It's over and stop, I'ma take it over the top and open the spot. In the soul and token of thought, I wrote it in chalk. The prophecy, corrosions of plot, explosions of block. Time until the motion is caught, emotion is taught. Into mountains and oceans of rock, disposed and clocked. Solutions and are frozen in rock. The emotions and the shows to be exposed inside my poetry are cold enough to make you freeze to death from standing close to me. Openly admit that there is little left of most of me. The road to find contentment in the mood where I'm supposed to be.
La tormenta suena, calcula el rayo sumétrica, no vaya a ser que mueras. Sabemos que la vida es bélica, incluso más que la guerra. También es algo tétrica, pero ya no es la pena. Como una cima negra, el rayo y pega cera de tus puras sucias orejas. Lo que no te lo creas, también hace abrir los ojos levantando las cejas. Esto medicamento, con esquizofrénicos, mejor que cualquier médico. No tiene nada malo, es todo benéfico. Rap dirigido hacia los oídos de los niños.
Smoking blunts of mics and spitting ciphers cause we need them.
Circos en vinilos con edificios de librillos.
I'm rocking all the colors, black, white, Asian, or Latino. You stare and laugh but fail to realize inside each paragraph a hold of potential to take your body and just tear in half. Every vital organ till Satan is what you're glaring at. The mind is a bazooka, so there's no hope in comparing gap. I'm the drug you store over rushing your nasal cavity. But when I reach your brain, I'll make sure it's a fatal casualty. I'm boosting so much dopamine inside your brain's vitality. Your cardiac arrest and watch your angelate reality.
Quedaros boquiabiertos porque fumo mientras duermo. Por la noche no es mi invierno porque el mundo es puro invierno. Tienes que tener un incendio, pero esto ya es lo normal. Tírate antes de la cargada, sus secretos sales a volar. Vamos juntos y contra las estrellas nos vamos a estrellar. Todo el mundo va a flipar, generaremos el...
Terrible land, why do you welcome them? And if every angel's terrible, then why do you welcome them? And if every angel's terrible, then why do you welcome them? You said you a tear.